Shalawam, shalawam, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahawashai, Ba'asham Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the Great Millstone, and salutations to all you sincere there. The test is over, the experiment is over, and Esau Edom has begun to collect their results. The left hand is moving. You saw the crisis that broke out in this country a month ago because of this whole Naira redesign policy, and how basically the old 200, 500, and 1,000 Naira notes, they stopped being currency. But the new notes that were supposed to be in supply, right, in circulation, was unavailable. And so the country fell into chaos. There were runs on the banks, there were riots and breaking into banks. People were stripping themselves naked in these banks, because of what was going on. There was no money, there was no cash outside to spend, and the whole country was basically in disarray for this past month. And then after the elections, after the period of this certain period of time, right? The Central Bank of Nigeria comes out with a new decree that they have now accepted that the old 200, 500, and 1,000 Naira notes are now legal tender again. So basically, just to show you, because that's all this really is. Now you might ask, then what was the whole reason for all the troubles that we faced in this country for a whole month, right? Why did you ban or basically illegalize the use of the old Naira notes in favor of the new ones if you had just planned to overturn that decree a month or so later? Well, I'll tell you the exact reason why. The reason why is because you Nigerians were being used as a test subject. How will the people react when a new payment system, a new form of cash is pushed instantly and the old one is just fizzled out and done away with? How will the people react when they have money in the banks but are unable to take it out because there is no way to take it out? Because throughout this period, they will tell you that, oh, well, you can use digital payments, if there's no cash available, you can go digital. But throughout this period, there was no money in the ATMs, so you couldn't withdraw cash. The bank's networks were so bad that you couldn't even do transfers. A lot of transfers are getting, basically they are getting, a lot of transfers are getting stuck, right? They were freezing. The money would be debited from your account, but the money would not be transferred to the recipient's account. And to get the money back, to go to the banks and complain about that difficult as well, because the banks weren't open. There was no cash in the banks. The banks weren't working, and the customer care was not returning the calls. So then what was the whole point of the banks in the first place? But all of this was done. Okay, this is a warning from the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, because there is a reason why the Most High is just putting his hand, the Most High is stretching out his hand and putting hell on you, Jakes, and then stretching back his hand once again. There is a reason why Esau Edom has not yet been allowed to go all the way. Because if it was up to Esau, you think he would have put this decree out there or allowed the central banks to say that, oh, well, you can use the old Naira notes now, so everything can just go back to normal a little bit. This is all being done by the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai to show you people, you jakes that are still in this world, that this world is not the way. Okay, the Most High is putting hell on you in order to, the Most High is putting this hell, he's showing you, he's putting this hell on you. Okay, showing you the evil of Esau, just how treacherous this world and this system is, so that you will understand that there is nothing for you Israelites here. Okay, come out of this kingdom, as it's written in the book of Micah 2 verse 10. So I guess that we will start with that as the precepts. Okay, because this is what Esau Edom does. He pushes his unrighteous decrees on the earth, and you jakes, you still fall for it. You still want to continue in the way of this kingdom. Micah 2 verse 10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction. Because there is nothing for our people in this kingdom. This place is through, okay, it is done. When we go out to the highways and byways and tell you that this kingdom is about to be destroyed, In all actuality, this kingdom is already destroyed, because you should be circumspect. Look at all the things that are happening on the earth and see that there is no hope for this place, okay? This kingdom is already done, and all that is left is just for the elect to be sealed, and the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahushai will completely, they will basically allow this kingdom to fall into destruction, to fall into ruin. But the reason why it's not happened yet, the reason why you see calamity after calamity going forth, but after a while, after the calamity, runs its course, eventually everything will go back to a little semblance of normal, a manageable position, is because the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is still giving our people, okay, you Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, a chance to repent. And that is what this video is for, because I already mentioned this, when this whole Naira redesign policy wahala began, that this was an experiment being done by Esau Edom to see how the people would react when they could no longer use the fiat money anymore in order to pay for goods or services, okay? And now that time has come and gone. Esau Edom has gotten his result and is getting ready to move to the next stage of their plans, which is why you have, it first started with the San Francisco Bank, right? The Silicon Valley Bank. And now I believe JP, Chase and Morgan, I believe that's the name of the bank. They went into the same thing. They are talking about how they can't handle basically you are seeing a record level of deposit of, not deposit, but bank transfers in their history. Okay, because first and foremost, all these banks, but you can't even rely on them because they were not designed to keep your money safe, or for where you can keep or deposit your money safely and withdraw it at any time you want. Because you should already know how these banks operate. They don't actually keep your money. Rather, they are using it on so many different investments and things like that. It's the same money that you deposit in the banks that they use for loans. The same money that you deposit in the banks they use for investments and so on and so forth. Okay? So the banks aren't even a safe place for you to keep your money, but this is how this kingdom is set up, that basically you cannot function or operate in this kingdom without being forced into some measures, like for example putting your money in the banks. Without you can't be carrying the amount of cash that is required to pay your way through on a daily basis when your money is in the bank. And really, this whole Naira redesign policy most likely was done to basically destroy the higher amounts of fiat currency that is being distributed out here among JK Nigeria. But the main point still stands. It was done as an experiment by Esau Edom. But ultimately, this whole thing was set up by the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahushai, and the message is still the same. To this day, the message to our people is still the same. Repent, for the kingdom of the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahushai is at hand. And trust not in this kingdom, okay? And especially not trust not in these rich, and especially trust not in this fiat currency, because even the scriptures tell you that riches maketh itself wings and flieth away. But let me get this. 1 Timothy 6 verse 17. Charge them that are rich in this world. And this doesn't just apply for the rich, but also our people that are in poverty as well. 1 Timothy 6 verse 17. Charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches, but in the living power who giveth us richly all things to enjoy. And that is telling you that you should not trust in uncertain riches. You should not trust in this kingdom or this system, but trust in the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahushai. Which is why if you go into the book of Matthew, the 6th chapter, it tells you, lay not up for yourselves treasures here on earth, because you see what has happened to the treasures that you lay up for yourselves here on earth. You have so much money in the bank, but you can't access it because no cash, and the banks are basically all down. So no ability to withdraw, no nothing. But all of that has been overturned, okay? But as easily as it was overturned, it can be put back in, as easily as that decree was overturned, it can simply be instituted again. Okay, and you now have the same crisis going out throughout the whole country. And the thing was that during this period, it was difficult as hell. No cash anywhere, and the inability to, yeah, and even the online transactions weren't going as smoothly as they should. Okay, so it was getting difficult out here. But ultimately, the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahshua had pulled back, you know, the judgment that he had put on you people here in Nigeria. Okay, but once again, for the simple fact that you trust not in this kingdom, and you trust not in the ways of this kingdom, in the wine and the philosophies and the doctrine, and basically the practices of this kingdom, okay, not in the money, not in the banks, not in the governments, not in any system that is set up in this kingdom, no infrastructure or institution that is set up in this kingdom, but trust only in the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and realize that everything that you have in this world is completely, first and foremost, it's not even yours, okay? It belongs to Esau, Edom. But even more so than that, everything they have in this world is basically temporary, okay? So let's go to this precept. Because Jake is greatly materialistic in this kingdom, and the reason why they are materialistic is because of Esau, Edom. So this is the, okay, hold on, this is all I'm looking for. And lay up for yourselves treasure. But this is a good one to read as well. Okay, here it is. Yeah. This precept is going to be long, so you should bear with me. Matthew 6 verse 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust does corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust does corrupt, or where thieves do not break through, and where thieves do not break through or steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. And the focus should be in the kingdom, okay? So lay up for yourselves treasures, be not too. So okay, my phone slipped out of my hand. But be not too concerned with the riches of this kingdom, which is why I read that precept first and foremost in the book of 1 Timothy, that but I charge them that are rich to not charge them that are rich in this side, And anyway, continuing on, okay, back to what I was saying. And I completely forgot how that precept goes, but anyway, back to what I was saying. So now, Matthew 6, verse 23. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. He cannot serve the Most High and Mammon. And what is Mammon? Mammon is money, basically, okay? As it is written, for the love of money is the root of all evil. Wherefore men, but basically you pierce yourself with many sorrows through the love of money. And this is the word Mammon. Mammon, treasure, riches, where it is personified and opposed to God. So you are more concerned with the riches and the ways of this world, basically. The pride of life, the lust of the flesh, than of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And what the Most High is doing in these last days, by shutting down Esau's infrastructures, you're doing these basically these controlled collapses, right? The suspensions of some of the services of Esau Edom is in order to show you that there truly is nothing in this world. That's why you had the lockdowns, you had the whole C-19 matter, you had different power outages, shutdowns, earthquakes, okay, collapse of infrastructure, different things going on the earth. Every once in a while, you see a new thing break out, because this is not the final, okay, phase. We know that all these things, all these institutions that Israel has set up, the banks, the government, the economy, the power grid, even the internet, will shut down permanently. Okay, but for now, what you are seeing for the most part is, you know, a suspension. Like, I will use that terminology, where it goes off and comes back on. Okay, just to show you people of this world that there is still nothing in this world. You Israelites that are still in the world, that there is nothing in this world. So repent, turn back to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, so that when the real collapse comes to pass, okay, you will be safe. You will dwell in the shadow of the Almighty. That is the book of Psalms, 91st chapter. You know, good read and a good faith builder there to show you that the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua will take care of you. And you know, throughout this whole situation, I mean, I wasn't really that worried. You know, the Most High kept that faith strong in me because I knew that last, okay, it will be all be in the hands of the Most High. Okay, I thought, though, basically, I'm at a point right now where all that really matters is to endure unto the end. So that's the focus right there. Okay, not what happens in this world or anything like that, but rather to endure unto the end and to get that deliverance, get that crown, as it is written. Basically as it's written, hold fast so that no man can take your crown, because that is the focus. Okay, but I also want to get this as well. So I start from the top, then try to think about how to do that. But basically, that's the whole point I wanted to get out there. The left hand is at work, beware, and also repent. So with that, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahawashai, Ba'asham Rakat, Badash, Wa Abad Babal. And through the Spirit, I hope you are calm and you are quite edified. Shalom.